Welcome back to my channel. This week, Plateau State in Nigeria has erupted in violence again, with over 50 families wiped out.
Days after more than 80 people were killed in Plateau State, there has been another attack, this time leaving 52 confirmed deaths so far and many more injured.
So I really wonder, is it human beings they're talking about? So in 2025, a group of people can just enter a community and massacre everyone. And the worst piece is that we're not even sure that anyone is dealing with it. Is the governor dealing with it, or is it the president dealing with it? Listen to this.
Midnight into early this morning, over 100 militia bandits descended on one of the communities in Kwal district of Bassa local government, leaving in their trail a number of dead bodies and destroyed houses. We've just deliberated and taken information, debriefing from the heads of security on all that transpired, and we are trying to establish what actually happened, why it happened, so that we can be able to address the situation.
Dichotomy of governors in Nigeria. They keep talking about how, security is really up to the federal government. I can't do much. But when you see a governor's convoy, try and step up and see if you can reach for a governor or touch him. You probably get shot on the spot, right? So when it comes to their personal convoys and when they move around, they've got the best security of anybody else. But then when insecurity happens in the country, they start appealing for peace. The buck stops with the governors, and I'm very much behind the president in telling the Plateau State governor that you need to step up and you need to improve. And this goes for Plateau State. It goes for Benue.
For me, I totally disagree with Mr. President this morning. I think it's an abdication of responsibility, and I think President Tinubu has not done enough when it comes to insecurity, and I think the governor has no blame in this communal crisis matter. The federal government oversees the police. Secondly, the military is overseen by the federal government. The day this governor has a problem with the federal government, that's when you will know that he has no powers. We have seen with the case of Governor Fubara now. It's just one order from above, and they will manipulate even the security architecture on ground. Governor Muftwang, yes, should be able to talk to people communally, but the greatest blame falls on President Tinubu that is still in France. Well over 100 people have died.
The Plateau State killings in north-central Nigeria are part of a decade-long cycle of violence between herder communities, mostly the Muslim Fulani pastoralists, and the farmers who are predominantly Christians. And is rooted in competition over land, water, and other resources. This conflict has been inflamed by climate change. There's now desertification pushing the herders south. So there's ethnic religious tensions, there's weak governance. Recent escalations just this week saw about more than 50 families killed and about 10,000 people displaced. Why is this happening? There's scarcity of resources, there's drought, there's shrinking grazing land, forcing the herders into the farmlands. There's also political neglect, poor conflict resolution, corruption, and weapon proliferation. There's ethnic and religious divides for power, creating deep mistrust. Now, this has huge health impacts. There's direct trauma with a lot of casualties, and there's limited emergency care because the hospitals are understaffed, they're underfunded, people are displaced, there's disease, there's crowding, there's lack of clean water, there's no sanitation, so there's outbreak of diseases like cholera and malaria. There is also the mental health crisis. Survivors, especially the children, suffer from PTSD, anxiety and depression, but there's no mental health infrastructure. The clinics have collapsed, the attacks destroy clinics, and staff flee away. So there's maternal mortality rates rising, there's chronic diseases like diabetes and hypertension that go untreated, there's malnutrition, because when you burn farms and you disrupt the food supply, there'll be malnutrition, especially in the children. So there are other long-term health implications, for example, missed vaccinations. If people are running away, displaced from their home, they're not going to get immunized. So illnesses like measles and polio are coming back again. There's also generational trauma. Children raised in violence will face lifelong physical, mental health risks. There's also mass exodus of healthcare workers. They are fleeing for their lives, and that's worsening the crisis. And it's amazing that the world is just going on without knowing that these things are happening.
As Plateau State residents struggle to come to terms with the recent attacks in Bokos local government area, where over 80 persons were killed and communities displaced, yet another attack has hit Zike and Kimakpa communities in Kwali district of Basa local government area, where 52 persons were killed in cold blood at night. Residents of the community who trooped out in large numbers pouring out their hearts to the government and security agencies demanding urgent intervention.
The primary responsibility of any government, like I said earlier on, is to protect its citizens. Why are they, in fact, assuming it's all the Fulani fault, how did they allow the Fulanis to continue to kill the indigenous people of Plateau? Why? How? Why have they failed to give the people of Plateau, like everyone else, the protection that they have a right to? It's not only in Plateau, it's happening all over the north. How many thousand people have been killed by bandits?
What can we do? We want to encourage NGOs to please rebuild clinics and train local health workers. We want to advocate for trauma-informed care and mental health support for people who are going through these sort of tragedies. We want to push for international attention to the public health fallout of this conflict. This isn't just a conflict, it's a breeding ground for epidemics, for malnutrition and generational suffering. As doctors, we can't just look away. I'm hoping that the leaders sit up to their responsibility and try and get things resolved in these areas so we can stem these illnesses, so we can attract people back into these regions, attract doctors back into these regions, attract health workers back in to help the people in Plateau State. We want help for the children. We want help for families who are living in these places, who have nothing to do with the issues happening. These are just normal people like you and I wanting to make a living. So we encourage the leaders, please rise up to your responsibility. Let us fish out the troublemakers. Let us ensure there is safety for all. That way, people can live healthier and happier lives. Thank you so much for watching. We'll continue to bring you more on the story as it develops. Please subscribe to the channel and I'll see you back in my next video. Bye.